Hello, Susan. I wanted to give you a quick introduction to the tool course and some of the places that you can use to help you get through it and kind of talk you through the major things involved in the tool course. Hopefully, I'll keep this short so that you can get a taste, like in 10 minutes or less, hopefully, of the nature of the work and then make a decision as to whether you want to actually pursue this. So, we have a Blackboard course set up. It's really just an area where we hold some things together. The tool course itself is actually out on the web at this address. So it's already out there. You can actually go look through the tool modules, the different quests that it has within it, and explore it. But we have a Blackboard section so that you can share the link to your portfolio, so that you can look at other people's portfolios if you want to see what they're working on or what they're thinking about the tool course, so that we can check in with each other occasionally through a discussion board, and so that I can provide you, and Andy and Phoebe can provide you with extra support if you need it. So it's a place where we kind of hold our community together. And I say community, but it's really, I mean, I'm going to be quite honest with you, it's really a self-paced course. It's about you and your interactions with the content in the tool course, which is based on several years of the content that the Georgia Virtual School has been using already to train its teachers, the people that it hires to teach. You know, it's had this online teaching course that is required of people that they hire, but they've decided to move the course to a pre-hiring position so that it's on the applicant to take this course before they even apply at Georgia Virtual School. So they just moved this course to the pre-hire stage, whereas before it was in there after they would hire someone that had potential, then they took this course. Now, of course, it's evolved over the years, so this is a very current course. It was just unveiled this spring. So, all right, enough about that though. The Blackboard section does hold some things together, and so I'm going to show you that as well. And there's a link to the tool course inside of there, as well as numerous other things. And don't get too overwhelmed by the Blackboard course. I hope it's not designed in such a way that it's terribly overwhelming. But you are now in the Blackboard course, so you can log in using your username, and I don't know your password, though I may have a guess as to what it is. So if you don't know what it is, let me know and I may have an idea. Okay, and the course that we've got is called Tool TQP Project. Okay, so over here we've got our left-hand navigation bar. The first thing you see is the announcements. So if you did want to go and see from the very beginning the various announcements that we've got going, there's there's some videos, all kinds of information throughout this summer. The course plan gives you the big picture of all of the quests. Remember I told you that the tool course consists of a number of quests, and these quests are divided into 5 main skill areas. Let me actually go to the Georgia Virtual School website. These are the 5 skills: participate, navigate, communicate, create, and evaluate. And we kind of took it in that order. This summer we started with the participate. That was 1 week. Then week 2 was navigate, communicate, create, and evaluate. And each of these has a number of quests associated with it. So I think participate had about 12 quests. That maybe you give 25 to 45 minutes to a piece. Navigate had a few more than participate, etc. And then I know evaluate, actually the number is under 10. The number goes down on that one. Okay, so the course plan, the big picture, that is, tells you what you want to do, big picture, through each week, and you're going to get to decide on your own weekly schedule. Although what I do hope is that you get this done in enough time so that you can implement something this fall in your class. So before Thanksgiving, I'm hoping that you can sort of catch up and do 4 out of 5 of these skill areas. So to earn the stipend, I don't know if you've been told, but there's a stipend, a $500 stipend associated with participating in this course, completing a minimum number of these. It's 4. We want you to do 4 out of 5 of these skill areas so that we keep the number of contact hours at a reasonable number for you guys. We don't want to overwork you. And then we have some follow-up activities in the fall, and then there's several discussion posts we'd like you to do. So I would like you to do that intro discussion post uh, during the participate skill. There's some additional things you want to make sure you get done. So to earn the stipend, you need to do 4 out of 5, but to earn the tool badge, you would of course have to do all 5 out of 5. So the stipend is something that we that run this grant want to give you, and we had to come up with a bar for making sure that you did a certain amount of things to earn that stipend. So to earn that, that's where the 4 out of 5 skills need to be completed comes from. And you can do any 4 out of 5 that you want. You don't have to do the ones that you don't have to do it in order or anything like that. But again, to earn the tool badge, you have to earn all 5, and that's a Georgia Virtual School credential. So in terms of big picture, again, we've got participate, navigate, and you can see all these different quests. And then in the wrap up at the end, we want you guys to talk to the evaluating team. So there's 3 people that do focus groups and interviews and things like that. And they're doing some focus groups this week. And then what they would do with you is that you would probably just set up a phone call with one of the evaluators, and they'd probably ask you something like 10 questions about your experience, where you give feedback about the value of this and the way it's been set up. Okay? And that is part of this earning the stipend, is talking to those evaluators. There is a pre-survey that we would need a UGA rep to send to you. So I'd need I have your email address. You would need to create a portfolio. You can actually go over here to portfolio links and look at other people's portfolios. Some people do them as blogs. Some people do them as wikis. And I will keep it simple. Okay, so discussion post 1, you can find that over here in discussion boards. You go to the first discussion, and it's basically trying to get you to tell us where you are when you begin a little bit. We want a little, just a quick assessment of where you're at and what you think you want to get out of this course. Then during the navigate section, there's no extra stuff to do. But then in communicate, we'd like you to check back in and let us know what's going on with you. If you don't mind going to discussion post 2 at that point and just giving us a quick post on how things are going. And then you go through create and evaluate. We don't bug you with any extra stuff. And then week 6 is when hopefully, and again, you get to decide on your calendar. It could be that you do each of these in 2 days, or it could be you do each of them in 8-day segments. It depends on how you decide to tackle it. And if you could just kind of map out a schedule and let me know, that would be really great. But once you're done with evaluate, you'll want to set up a time to talk to the evaluator, and I can help you get in touch with them and just do a quick phone interview. And I bet that it would only take about, 20 minutes or something, because there's only one of you. There may be another person that comes in late as well. And then there's a discussion post 3. So the end of this course is all about setting goals for the fall. I said goals, but I meant to say one goal. At a minimum, we just want you to set one goal for something that we hope that you'll try. We want to know if there's a way that we can support you in experimenting with something. And you get to decide what that is that you want to try. It may be a new tool. It may be trying to flip your classroom a little bit, and I know there's lots of challenges with that, but I'm just throwing out some quick examples. So you decide based on what you've learned, based on all kinds of things, what it is that you want to do. And then you're going to share about that in part 2 in the online experience. Okay, so I'm going to look through. Oh, there's something else I want to tell you. So the course plan gives you the big picture. This right here is the link to the GABS course. Like I told you, it's actually on the outside, so that's a handy little link there that can shoot you out to the GABS course. There are a couple of pre-course activities that we'd like you to do. And I will show you a handy checklist where you can learn what those are exactly. You can click on this at any point and just read through the pre-course activities and open this. And this is the welcome video from May 9th. This will really give you a good overview of the whole PD. I'm kind of rushing through it, and it's 20 minutes long, but it'll give you a good overview of what's going on here. Stipend-related paperwork. There's 3 forms that we need you to mail or fax or email to me so that I can turn them in to the University of West Georgia so that they can process your stipends and get you paid. So if you could do that, as soon as you can do that, that would be great. If you decide to participate, these are the requirement. I'm sorry, these are the requirements for earning the stipend. These are the dates by which we hope to have you paid your stipend. You can join this Edmodo site. We may or may not be using this in the fall. I thought let's get everybody joined to one social network, and we'll easily have the option to use it later on in the fall if we want to. You don't need to worry about saving the dates, but you do need to sign up for the GAVS course, and here is the coupon code that you would use. That way you don't have to pay the $50 fee to take the course. And if you could click on the informed consent and just agree to it if you think you want to earn that stipend, you'll want to click yes on that. So those are the pre-course activities. I'm now entering the 11-minute mark. I swear to you I will try to keep this short. So each week has a detailed plan that may be of assistance. You can go week by week and look at these. So these are more in depth than the course plan. There's one really important thing for you to know. Let's go look at the Navigate week just as an example. You do these are the quests that you do with Navigate. But the ones that you turn in to the Georgia Virtual School Evaluator are called capstones. So there's 4 capstones in each skill. So in Navigate, these are the 4 capstones. And these are the ones where you'll complete these, and then you will submit them to that Georgia Virtual School Evaluator. They will look at these in the most depth. As for these other areas, I'm not sure what they do with them or if they even look at them at all. But my tip to you guys is that you take between 25 and 45 minutes per quest, and that when you do a quest, let's go look at one very quickly. You'll see this tip somewhere else as well. This is a quest. I'll make it a little smaller. It's very text-based. It's got some images. It's got links out to other things. And then what I recommend, though, before you read all of this stuff and get completely absorbed, is that you start with the end in mind and you go to the "to complete this quest" line and you read what it's asking you to do. Okay? In this case, it wants you to indicate that you understand the difference between asynchronous and synchronous methods of delivery. That's a pretty simple quest, but if you were to take the time to read everything up here, I think you should personally I think you should read everything that's on this top level that's actually written on the page. And then in terms of the outside links, you need to click on those as needed. If you don't feel like you understand how to address the quest, then I'd say go deeper. I would also say, maybe try exploring at least one or so of these resources here as needed. Again, I think if you were to do it in depth, I think it would take a long time. I think it would take longer than maybe you want it to. And I don't want you to get burned out. And this is one of the big challenges of this course. Is it's so rich, it's so resource rich that people don't know how deep to go. And they feel like they're not doing a good job if they don't click every link and read everything. But I will tell you, I took about 2 hours on the very first quest of this course, and I realized quickly that's not going to cut it. I've got to start from the end, and I've got to time myself and tell myself that I only get a certain amount of time to complete the quest. And if I'm really into something, like, what you could do? You could create a takeaways page, a page of things that you think are really interesting, or maybe awesome resources page, and you can paste a lot of these to go revisit in depth later. So there's a lot of things you can do to make sure you keep these things, but that you, on the other hand, don't bog down right now. Okay, so I am bogging down. That's what I do sometimes. All right, so those capstones are the most important thing. At the end of each skill, so that we're in the Navigate skill right now, there's a process for submitting that capstone. And one thing you could do is you could submit all of the capstones at once at the very end. So you could do all the quests and then submit. But you might want to, I think maybe it makes more sense to submit them as you finish them. So if you finish Navigate, I would say go through this process and submit that capstone. Because that way you know if you're completely off the mark and you're not doing later skills areas, with too little detail or something. Okay, so there are these weekly checklists. Now, The Navigate week, the week 2, this sandbox was created for Navigate. Oops. There were 2 quests in there, 2.1.2, Navigate 3.1.2, that I felt like needed some additional support, so I created these for that, so be aware of that. And then what I want to show you is the late entry checklist. I recommend that you pursue this late entry strategy where you decide to just go for 4 out of 5 tools. I'm sorry, 4 out of 5 skills. Try to get those done by, let's see, it's July 8th when I'm doing this. I would recommend that you try to get this done by August 15th. And I know that's really pushing it, although it's totally possible. If you were to give yourself a week and you consider this your full-time job, you could get this knocked out before school starts back, but at the same time, you have to decide how you can make this fit, because this is not ideal in my opinion, but it may work for you. So you get to decide how you make this fit, and maybe if you could get this done by Labor Day, if you could get 4 out of 5 done by Labor Day, that would allow you enough time to think about that one goal that you want to set and kind of implement by Thanksgiving. But you let me know what you think you would need in terms of a schedule. All right, so the late entry strategy again is to do 4 out of 5 tool skills. You can view previous welcome messages. These are the pre-course activities I'd like you to do, and those still apply to you. I recommend you go check out the Georgia Virtual School tool site. Go just poke around it for about 10 minutes and learn how it works, and learn where there are repeated sidebars and where the content changes. So on these pages, on the left-hand side, the content changes. On the right-hand side, it's sort of a static sidebar that's always there. These are always there. So just kind of learn the structure of the Georgia Virtual School site. Then the next thing you have to do is set up your portfolio. I'd be happy to meet with you online and help you do that quickly. I think that doing it in a wiki is particularly powerful in terms of just super easy to do. I worked with someone last night to set her wiki up, and she couldn't believe how easy it was. She'd never worked in a wiki before. You can certainly do a blog as well. Personally, I find blogs difficult to manage when you've got 53 separate links that you're going to have to go dig out. And, well, let's see, at least 20 that you have to submit in the capstones. Let me put it that way. Plans and checklists. There's lots of different checklists. I provide a number. I also have a video here where I kind of explain the checklist, so you can watch that if you want to. So in this late entry checklist, I recommend that you skip the first, that you skip participate, and that you head over to navigate, communicate, create, and evaluate. That you skip participate and you save that one for later. There's a reason for that, but let me not go into it right now. All right, so this was the time and relevance thing I was talking about. Okay, I talked about time. I said you should set a certain amount of time per quest and try to stick to that. The relevance piece is that it's okay to make this relevant to what you teach in your classroom. It might not always seem like the question is tailored to you, but keep in mind that Georgia Virtual School created this for people across all the different disciplines, and not only in the state of Georgia, but outside of it. And so they had to keep it intentionally vague. It's not catered to science teachers. So you have to do that. So as you go through things, you should always ask yourself, and actually I don't know if you're a science teacher, but whatever content area you teach is fine. And you can be a media specialist, you could be a special education teacher. But in all things, ask yourself, okay, how does this apply to what I do? Is there anything from this that I could use in my classroom? And finally, the other thing was complete the teacher quality pre-survey when it arrives to your email. And I won't have that sent to you unless you decide you want to do this. All right, so I've officially doubled the time that I thought I would do this intro in. But, just think of it as my giving you my time, because I do hope that you will decide that you want to do this. But it's a bit startling, I think, on the front end. There's a lot of just sort of paperwork and, setting up your blog. I don't know if your blog or your portfolio, should I say. If you don't use these kinds of tools, blogs or wikis, for example, this could take you longer. And again, I'm happy to help simplify that process for you. scaffold you if you want, help you to get set up. I mean, heck, I'd be glad to just help you, walk you through all of this stuff. We can meet online in a go-to meeting and get you done probably in 30 minutes, get you set up and get most of these things out of the way, or a lot of them, a lot of the more time-consuming ones, and address some of your questions live. So if that appeals to you, just let me know. Alrighty, thanks.